Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of Zenith versus World Elite. This is a best out of 3. If you missed game number 1, well, let me just say, Zenith made a turtle lineup look like an all-in push strat, ending the game at 25 minutes. World Elite gave away a Darkseer, they gave away a Leshrac and a Chen. All three of those heroes get banned this game, so Zenith is going to try something new. And what I started off the previous game saying is that Zenith is not a one-trick pony. This is not a team that relies on certain heroes to win games. They've run heroes ranging from Pudge to Night Stalker, to Death Prophet. We've seen them with Prophet as well, Darkseer, Lycan, Naga, Phantom Lance. Actually, I don't know if they played Naga just yet, but Templar Assassin. I mean, even heroes they haven't run, they can run them. Chaos Knight as well. That's a good pick for World Elite off the bat. And it's a hero that the Chinese have had a lot of success with. But just to finish my point about Zen, I mean, they really can win with anything. And still, they get that strong early game. Prophet, Shadow Demon, Enchantress. I mean, last game they had that mid-game timing. They had a Leshrac and a Chen, though, and that was the cornerstone of their strategy. They get two similar staple picks here. The Enchantress, the Prophet, and even the Shadow Demon. Really strong lanes, really strong early game potential with push, and some real ganking opportunities as well. World Elite, once again, very difficult to kill off early on, or at least they seem that way to me. Chaos Knight, high move speed, high base armor, high HP, as well as having a great stun to try and punish tower dives. Earthshaker's not the tankiest hero, but has that fissure to work with. One hero that was picked up last game, which was huge for Zenith, was that Rubik, played by XY. Oh man, he was stealing fissure, he stole boat, he hit the boat on multiple heroes. Edict, Split Earth, I'm sorry, no, that was his teammate Leshrac, but what else did he steal? Oh man, maybe an AA Ultimate, I want to say. I can't remember at this point, but he stole at least 6 or 7 different spells and made great use of all of them. It was fantastic individual play by him. Where does Zenith go from here? Do they go for more push? Do they go for some team fight? I was thinking something like the Queen of Pain, although they are very unpredictable. It would definitely fit in with their lanes, but it's actually World Elite that get it. This is a hero World Elite had a lot of success with back in the International 2 East qualifiers. Strong lane controller. In fact, one of the very best 1v1 heroes in the game. I mean, everybody's got their favorites. Some people like to make arguments for Invoker, for Windrunner, and depending on the laning situation as well as the matchup, some heroes will be stronger than others. But Queen of Pain, almost impossible to kill even early on, has that Shadow Strike for harassment. Strong laner to start, and then they get themselves the Chaos Knight Earthshaker. That could be the makings of a tri-lane. Sometimes we see dual lanes mid with that Chaos Knight, something like an Ancient Apparition. That used to be the Chinese favorite way to play. It was Chaos Knight plus Ancient Apparition. Crystal Maiden can work as well. Again, Zenith. I'm not sure if they've been watching Mouse Sports, but they... Actually, no, sorry. It was World Elite who went for the Shadow Demon Kunkka last game. It's a reversal here. Zenith saw it, shut it down for World Elite. Maybe they're going to show World Elite how it's done this game, or at least try to do so. They pick up a Shadow Demon Kunkka. And if you look at World Elite's lineup, Queen of Pain could easily look to go mid. And we saw it in Mouse Sports. Oh, who were they playing? Oh, who was it? Was it DK? Might have been DK, might have been MUFC. Mouse Sports played both of those teams in a row on the same day. They completely shut down a Queen of Pain solo mid with a Shadow Demon Kunkka combo. It's one of the best combos, if not the best, to deal with that hero. So, if Zenith get that matchup mid, it's going to be very difficult for Queen of Pain. I said she's survivable. She ain't that survivable. And Gyrocopter! Zenith, always delighting. Oh man, at the rate they're going, I'm going to lose my voice at the end of this cast. And it's going to happen from the hero picks alone. But Broodmother's the pick for World Elite. I gotta say this game, these Spiderlings don't seem to be long for this world. Particularly because of two abilities. We have the Flat Cannon from Gyrocopter, and then we have the Kunkka's Tidebringer. Two amazing ways to shut down pushes early on. One thing the Broodmother can do, nonetheless, is use that Spiderling charge to harass, use them to farm the jungle. It's an option for her. Gyrocopter definitely giving them a bit of a late game presence here. Gives them some damage. Gives them a good initiator with that missile. Now, sorry, not initiator, but a follow-up stun, I should say. Zenith can chase very well. I think that's what this lineup is strongest at. They have the Prophet, can TP all over the map. They have Disruption to start, Soul Catcher, and of course Torch to follow. The missile, great for chasing. The ultimate as well. And finally, that Rocket Barrage. A lot of burst damage early on. Plus X marks the spot. The slow from Enchantress. Yeah, if you ever try to run from Zenith, you're going to have a hard time doing it. Maybe the Queen of Pain. Actually, if you look at World Elite, they're pretty good at running. It's not what you want to be doing. But if you need to run, this is a pretty good lineup to do it. Blake, Broodmother, and the Webs. Chaos Knight with his high base movement speed, and I talked about how tanky he is. He could look to get away, but this Crystal Maiden as well as Earthshaker, very immobile heroes. They could have some real trouble early game. Okay, so how will Zenith lead this one? Well, what I'm expecting to see, and I could be completely wrong, but we have Prophet likely to go into that off lane. I'm thinking we'll see Kunkka Shadow Demon dual lane mid, Gyrocopter soloing that bottom lane, maybe supported up by the Enchantress. Now, I talked about Kunkka and Shadow Demon as a dual lane, but actually Gyrocopter and Shadow Demon are very strong in their own right. So, another thing Zenith could do if they want to do it, to finish my thought, because Disruption will actually set up your homing missile perfectly. Start with the homing missile, disrupt, and then by the time the homing missile arrives, Disruption wears off, and the missile will have a chance to hit, because it does take a few seconds before it actually starts traveling. It doesn't get there instantly, even after it starts. But yeah, the other option we could see is maybe a Kunkka solo mid, and it could work very well. Oh, if Zenith, if World Elite are getting mind gamed here, they might be expecting that dual lane mid, and maybe send a dual lane there of their own, in which case Kunkka's gonna have some trouble, but it would give them that Shadow Demon, as well as Gyrocopter in the safe lane, and that's a real strong kill lane, even against Broodmother. Early Sentry Wards, Disruption, the homing missile, and I mentioned that Rocket Barrage. Once if that dual lane is present, once they hit level 2, they can shut it down. They could also even look to get the Tidehunter, or to the Tidehunter, the Kunkka, or the Gyrocopter set up in a 1v1 matchup versus Broodmother. I think there was a pro match where a Gyrocopter did just that, maxed Flat Cannon first, and was very effective. This might have been in Dota 1. Oh man, I can't remember right now, to be honest. But it has that potential, and Kunkka's not half bad either with that Tidebringer. Early on, he'll struggle a bit once he gets leveled up. Yeah, so for me, it's the mind games. Is World Elite going to expect the dual lane mid? Whether it's most likely would be the Kunkka Shadow Demon in that case. Are they going to, in which case, sending something else mid, maybe a solo Kunkka, maybe even a solo Gyrocopter, could, sort of put a wrench in World Elite's plans if they're afraid of that Quap having trouble against the dual lane. Is World Elite going to expect that? Or are they going to think that, are they going to expect Zenith maybe to do something else? We'll have to see, but let's go ahead and introduce the players while we have ourselves a moment. GG on the Broodmother, Icy on that support Earthshaker, Lau going to be playing the Crystal Maiden, FNTY. Should I call him Fanty? FNTY is a mouthful, but on that Queen of Pain. Chan going to be playing that Chaos Knight. Meanwhile, over for Zenith, we have XY, who was just incredible to watch on Rubik last game. Going to be reprising his role as that hard support. Although it didn't feel like a hard support because he got so many kills. Playing that Shadow Demon. Ice, Ice, Ice on the Gyrocopter. Freedom going to be playing that Enchantress. And HY on the Kunkka. This is a good opportunity to mention while we have ourselves a pause, as it looks like Loda is not loaded, so going to need a moment. If you guys missed any matches, game 1 of this series, any of the previous days, go to youtube.com/LDdota, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can check out all the VODs there if you want to. So anytime a new match is released, you'll get a notification about it on your YouTube feed, and then of course you can check out all those previous matches. That is free, 100%. Great way for you guys to catch up on the action of this tournament. Also, if you haven't already done it, please consider buying a tournament pass. It does support us, the organizers, the casters, as well as the admins, helping to make this all possible. And big shout out to Atri for, I know there was a little bit of hiccups here and there. We're scheduling a tournament with teams all around the world. Overall, I have to say, scheduling the matches getting started on time for the most part. We've had some delays. A lot of those were Steam server issues. These teams have been here ready to go on time. So it's not just Atri, of course, doing a good job as the admin and the scheduling teams here on time, but also the teams for showing up. Occasionally we've had ourselves some delays, but especially compared to some other events I've cast recently, everything has been running hunky-dory, peachy keen, nice and smooth. So thanks to Atri, and thanks to the teams, of course, for making this possible, for showing up on time, giving us a great game. But yeah, if you want to buy that tournament pass in-game, it does support us. Only $3.99. You get 24 best out of 3s. You also have an opportunity to watch our knockout rounds, as I have myself a quick sip of water here. Trying to preserve my voice as much as possible. I don't think I have those iron pipes that Toby-Wan does, but doing what I can to keep that voice moving. Chan headed towards the middle lane. Looks like will it be a solo Chaos Knight? Nah, Crystal Maiden likely to dual lane mid with him. We'll probably see Lau heading that way, and then GG in the off lane. Okay, so we're gonna get a dual lane mid. Chaos Knight as well as Crystal Maiden. Up against, is this a solo Shadow Demon? No, Ward's picked up on him. Probably gonna be dual lane mid as well for Zenith here. Iceiceicee has the early pair of Sentry Wards to deal with Broodmother. They want to kill her early and often. He'll be heading bottom. Is it going to be a... I mean, I guess it's possible it could be a Kunkka tri-lane with a Gyrocopter? If you think about it, Kunkka, Gyrocopter, and Shadow Demon would make a fantastic tri-lane. Disruption to set up the Torrent, then the Missile to follow. That's some insane burst damage as well with the Cleave, the Soul Catcher, and especially that Rocket Barrage. This spell, on a single target, I believe it actually does more than Edict. Not per use, but in terms of raw damage per second. The thing about Edict is it works on towers. You don't have to use it as many times. Rocket Barrage only lasts 3 seconds. If it's not more than Edict, it's close. And even at level 1, 11 damage per rocket, 10 rockets to fly. How much damage is that? That is 110 damage. And that's in 3 seconds, guys. That's like 3 or 4 auto attacks getting off. 2 or 3 getting off while you're chasing, and that's the beauty of it. You do have to stay very close to them. Edict has a bit larger of an AoE, but it's very strong burst damage here. iceiceicee is going to be soloing. Okay, so we are going to see this Gyrocopter. Can it deal with Broodmother 1v1? I say yes, especially if that flat cannon gets maxed early, and he's got the Sentry Wards to help him out. Over towards the middle lane, it will be the dual lane I expected. HY, and that World Elite expected as well, I should say. XY playing that Shadow Demon, HY playing that Kunkka. We saw this first with Mouse Sports, and of course it's a very potent lane. Disruption into Torrent, Soul Catcher to follow. A lot of burst damage here. World Elite have a very strong dual lane of their own, Crystal Maiden and Chaos Knight. The one thing I will say, this Crystal Maiden will be a lot easier to kill than the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon has Disruption, and the Torrent much stronger defensively than anything World Elite has. Crystal Maiden is a great offensive support, not the best defensively. All top lane, Loda in that off lane position. How did he get caught out? Loda just playing too aggressively. And, you know, maybe it goes back to these early Sentry Wards that were picked up. They just don't have the Observers right now. I mean, it's something those supports could have bought, but they choose not to. Let's see, does he have them in his inventory? No. No wards for Loda. Were they dewarded? I don't think so. Oh, middle lane. 1 second stun. No follow-up from Lao. Huge wave coming in. Would have been a good time to dive. Chan wanted to go there. Didn't have the backup. Look at iceiceicee just completely dominating GG in the lane. Oh, if he dives the tower, could look towards a kill. Not going to. He will be going for the flat cannon max. That's what I expect to see. Rocket Barrage. Oh, it's very strong at level 1. No, he's maxing Rocket Barrage. Okay, now, this gives you insane burst damage. The one downside to it is, it doesn't give you AoE. Rocket Barrage is mitigated by having a lot of units around, such as Spider Lanes. It will be very good for the burst damage if he can find the single targets. Oh, creep. Chen coming in, they just want to push, I guess. Maybe looking for the early kill here on GG. No points to the homing missile. Is he going to skip it? I'm curious. This is an unusual skill build. I was expecting to see a flat cannon max and just go for... Oh, he's just using it to push. Okay. It works pretty well in that regard. Crystal Maiden picks up a haster, heads towards the bottom lane. Up, looking for the opening here on iceiceicee, but she's only level 1. They really can't do anything. No more Sentry Wards, so Brood should be safe. Can he get the tower denied? There's no way to kill him. Middle, there's a kill. Oh, no tower denied. And now iceiceicee held in place. Haster on Crystal Maiden, keep him alive. But yeah, Chaos Knight did fall down mid. Zenith just... They go for the jugular. The second they see that Crystal Maiden leave the lane, head towards that bottom route, they get aggressive mid. They set up a kill on the Chaos Knight. And although he's very tanky, it's just not enough. That's the power of this combination. Disruption, Soul Catcher, Torrent. Pretty much a free kill. Even on a full HP hero, especially with that Tideburner doing good harassment over time. But back to the Gyrocopter. To me, this is the most interesting hero in this game. The one we see least of overall. Okay, 1 point picked up in homing missile. Now, what I was trying to say about Rocket Barrage, it doesn't really scale very well. If you look at the way it scales, at level 1 it gives you 11 damage per rocket. For 3 more skill points, you get 9 more damage per rocket. The cooldown goes down a decent amount. In fact, it's pretty significant because of how short the spell is in terms of duration. So it will allow you to get hero kills, but I feel Flat Cannon is the better choice in this matchup because at some point you will just be lady 1v1 against Brood. As long as the sentries are up, it shouldn't be an issue, but if they're ever down, that could be a problem. There are some cool, cute things. Oh, middle lane. They pull him in. Reality Rift to start. There's the defensive disruption. Torrent not going to hit anything. Fissure as well. If they want XY, he looks to be dead. XY gets cut out. In comes Prophet. Now they want to turn on Lao. Icy has the Fissure cooling down. 8 seconds to go. Big tower dive. No, actually just with the long range auto attack. They get the kill. Torrent going to hit on Chan. Now Chan on the back foot. Couple more auto attacks. The Enchantress slow. Zenith with 4 heroes mid. They get 2 kills. They're going to look to push now. Loda maxing those triads first. Gives up a first. Nope. Sorry, he's not. That's only a level 1 triad. Maybe he'll look to max it once he hits 4, though. Sorry, he is 4. I expected he would take the second point. But yeah, they will be looking to push. Early Prophet, early Enchantress is roaming, and they can look to get some towers for themselves. Loda will buy another pair of Sentry Wards. Allows him to control this bottom lane, deal with the Broodmother. It's an investment, but it's definitely worth that cost. And he's going back to flat count, just want a little extra burst down. Middle lane, Nova on 2. Blinking from FNTY. Have not even talked about this guy yet because he's been up top farming the whole time. Torrent hits on 2. Quick double kill. It's a hero World Elite know how to play really well. He got an early first blood. Now he's making his presence felt here. Not even in the mid game, but you know, around that 4-minute mark. Wow, he's already got his ult 4 minutes in. That's some great leveling by him. Getting complete free farm up top from the looks of it. And oh, I forgot about my game stats. I know there's a bunch of people in the chat yelling at me right now. Sorry guys, here you go. There's your game stats. It is Gyrocopter leading the way. Now of course bear in mind, a lot of these are spider lanes. They give 15, 17 gold, something like that. About a third of a creep. Maybe a little bit more. So it's not as much as it looks. It's still a lot of farm, but the second leading farmer in FNTY probably very close in reality in terms of that gold per minute. He's sitting at 25 and 6. Let's see actually what has he picked up. Early pair of power treads and the bottle. So looking to be aggressive, building towards having sort of that mid game semi-carry potential. If that attack speed gives you some mana to work with as well. Helps you chase just a little bit better. Oh, bottom lane, iceiceicee. It's the weakness of Gyrocopter. He is damn squishy. In they go, the ultimate. It's gonna melt him up. Calls down the big nukes, but it's not enough. He will take a fall. And again, World Elite, I like their draft a lot better this game. They get aggressive heroes who can win in the laning stage, get those early kills, and now we have the split push potential. And this is where World Elite has made their, you know, it's where they sort of cut their teeth. It's their bread and butter. Applying pressure to all the lanes, not going for too many aggressive dives. We're not going to see it. Oh, disruption to start, soul catcher to follow. They want Lao, and Lao, even with the boots picked up, will be going down here. Just nothing he can do. Caught out, brought down. But yeah, that's the style that World Elite like to play. They like to play pretty defensively, get as much farm as possible, try and hold down to these onto these outer towers, and then once that mid to late game hits, use that dire advantage. And well, that's something I haven't talked about, but yeah, use that dire advantage. Try and go for Roshan. Try and maintain that map control. Get to that mid to late game. Get your core items up. That's what World Elite want to do. It is very early, but they're heading on here. 5-4. We're not seeing that immediate 16-4 start that we saw last game, or something along those lines. Iceiceicee. Wow. Look at that creep score. Even if these are spiderlings, 50 minutes, or 50 creeps in 7 minutes. That's just insanity. And with a max flat cat, I mean, Broodmother can't be farmy with these. Honestly, this is where you need to send them into the jungle, send them towards the Ancients, maybe let the Crystal Maiden farm with them, because all it's doing is feeding more gold into the pockets of Iceiceicee. Has his Reign of Basilius. He's buying his own Sentry Wards, so he's freeing up that support gold, allowing Freedom to get an early Bracer, allowing him to tank up a little bit. Allowing Prophet to work towards the Santa Midas, which, by the way, he is quite close to. And the Shadow Demon as well. He's at least got a pair of boots, 600 gold in the bank. So I like this decision, to have Iceiceicee buy his own wards. He can afford it, he's getting that farm, he doesn't really need it. Let's actually look at gold per minute, which I think is, in this game, going to be more meaningful than last hits because of those spiderlings. And it's actually Queen of Pain leading the way. Remember, she's got a first blood, she also got a double kill mid. So a lot of that is hero kill gold. Loda. TP's in. Fissure. He's absolutely screwed. No! Disruption. Soul Catcher. There's your ultimate. Getting the kill. Will the dive continue? The blink away. No secondary Fissure. Meanwhile, down bottom, Gyrocopter gets a kill on Chaos Knight. Whoa! Chaos Knight a long way from home here. I guess they didn't expect the Enchantress as well as the Kunkka. That is a really deep location to be in. They did play some wards, so they had some idea of what was going on. Maybe an Enchantress Smoke was responsible for that one. Sorry I missed that, guys. Just action on 2 places on the map simultaneously. But nonetheless, the struggles continue for the 2 of the 3 farmers for Elite. Disruption, Soul Catcher, Purge as well. Oh, XY went for the big play, but FNTY in position punishes that aggression. This is the World Elite gameplay. They get their core heroes, and I mean right off the bat. We're just, especially FNTY, getting that good start. In a position to, even sharing the bottle for Icy. Oh, what a thoughtful chap. Of course, it's in its own best interest too. But I mean, they're gonna knock down a tier 2 top, perhaps tier 1 top, perhaps. Iceiceicee comes in. Fissure is gonna try and slow down this push, and it's one of Gyrocopter's real strengths. I mean, I talked about killing spiderlings. Gyrocopter can shut down just about any push. With the flat cannon, with the ultimate. Here's the real question, what will he go for next? There's a couple of ways to play Gyrocopter. You can play him as sort of an initiator type. Go for a BKB. I'll just stand in those front lines, spam Rocket Barrage. Oh, they're not going to give me a second to talk. God damn it, guys. Alright, here we go. Reality Rift. Frostbite. Just too much damage. There's the disruption. Oh, Missile's going to hit on FNTY. Echo Slam just for the Gyrocopter. While this is happening, is there anything else going on the map? Doesn't really look like it. Massive paint's coming out. Whoa, Crystal Maiden takes a fall. Was that the rocket? Was that the rocket that killed him? Might have been a creep, in fact, or maybe the tower. Gyrocopter obviously did some damage, so even if the tower did the last hit, Gyrocopter would get the kill. Crystal Maiden dying. That was a 4-on-2, and they get a kill in return. Wow. We have frantic pinks flying out. I want to say iceiceicee is having a good laugh there about the fact that he gets a kill in that situation. Pretty decent lead for the Radiant. I have to say, oh man, phase boots as well. Soaring picked up on Birdmother. I have to say, Queen of Pain still needs to keep the pressure up. Going for it could be an Agonibs. I wouldn't mind seeing that early BKB either against Zenith. If you look at Zenith's lineup, BKB does with just about everything. Demonic Purge goes through it. That's really it. Blocks the Impetus, blocks the Enchantress slow, blocks the Torrent, blocks the X. The boat will stun you if it hits, but blocks that damage. And Gyrocopter, all of his nukes will be blocked. So I think an early BKB, it is the way that World Elite has run Queen of Pain in the past. Play it as an initiator. Use that, whichever hero gets the good start, which usually is their Queen of Pain, use that hero to set up everyone else in the map. Oh, big smoke up towards the bottom lane. 3 heroes grouped up. They want iceiceicee. Does Zenith know? Do they know? I am not sure. Oh, FNTY, he's hunting. He sees, he wants, will he get? No, not gonna find that kill. Forced to back off. They force a lot of TPs in exchange for smoke, but now FNTY maybe gonna get caught out. There's a level 2 X, doesn't get the X off. I mean, so far, uh-oh. This tower, he wants it. Will it be denied? Tower, not gonna be denied. Oh, they just want the kill and the creeps. Iceiceicee, bit of a mistake there. Could have gotten the tower denied and the team gotten the kill. Good job by the Broodmother. And World Elite, they're the ones getting the towers this early. 2 knocked down. Actually, sorry, it's even. 2 over towards the mid and the bottom on the part of Zenith. And then 2 for the Radiant. Oh, there's a tower here. God damn it. Tower up top. Okay, here we go. Push happening on the bottom lane. HY in the front lines. Drum picked up. Just going for those cheap, cost-effective, early game pushing items. iceiceicee, I am still very curious. Will he go for damage? Will he go for more of that caster style build? Now, as far as that caster style build goes, you can go for something like an Aghanims. Just use him as a split pusher. Aghanims lets you farm one lane, push another because it gives your ultimate that global range. You can go for sort of your right-click damage as well. Go for, we've seen, I think MTW ran this hero. I forget who they played. This was a while ago, maybe a month ago or so. And he went for a Crystallis, a Lothar's, just a lot of glass cannon style damage. And then it's all about just maximizing the power of that flat cannon. It seems like iceiceicee. In that case, oh, I forget who it was. Maybe it was FBMad, maybe it was Funzy. Whoever was playing, or even Saksha, whoever was playing that Gyrocopter, he went for a lot of points and stats. Actually, only 1 in Rocket Barrage. Here we go, though. Fissure, Reality Rift, iceiceicee caught out. 4-second stun. Really overkill there, but they get the kill. There's no tower to push, though. So although they get the kill, it will free up the Broodmother for a bit. But there's no tower to follow, and that's a big difference from the earlier game. FNTY, Torrent, Blink, or X as well. They want FNTY. Where's the ultimate? Not able to get it off. Wanted to blink, use that regen, but hyhy on top of his game today. And Loda has something on the way. What will it be? Treads for him. Some attack speed, some damage. Who is going to be the initiator for Zenith? As we get towards the mid game, that is my question. For World Elite, they have so many. They've already got the Earthshaker, the Chaos Knight as well. You'd like them to have BKBs, maybe drums, in the case of the Chaos Knight or the Queen of Pain. They don't need it to initiate, though, especially that Chaos Knight and the Earthshaker. We'll be fine just with their stuns to start. For Zenith, I suppose they have the Disruption. They have the Torrent, but they don't really have a hero that wants to charge in and tank the enemy team like a Cast Knight. Speaking of that Cast Knight, big dive bottom. The Rocket Barrage will drive everyone back. X onto the Cast Knight. Uh-oh, Torrent to follow. And here's the combo that I talked about. Oh, the Rocket flying in, Purge as well. World Elite, you cannot try and run from the Zenith squad. They will hunt you down with the X, the Torrent, the missile. The missile. Which one? He's got 4, right? I mean, come on. Or I guess 3. The flat cannon is more of a gun. Yeah, in that case, that would be the homing missile. So for World Elite, I mean, I like the idea of a BKBL as Queen of Pain. I still think it's the better play here than the Aghanims. Sure, the Aghanims gives you some split push, gives you a bit more stats, but I think with that BKB, you have a hero that needs to be focused but can't be brought down easily. The only hero who can maybe do it is Kunkka with some damage items, but he doesn't have his Shadow Blade yet. He doesn't have a Crystallis or Crystallis, but he's he could be working toward it. It's still a ways off. So I think that would be a decent option for him.
Double damage.
Loda's gonna snag himself a DD, and then looks to farm some Ancients. In terms of gold, it's fairly stable here. I mean, we're seeing a lead for Zenith, but it's not an outrageous one. This is not a game. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh man, Zenith, they have the lead and, they're such a good team, they're just going to pull away at this. World Elite can definitely take this game if they play well. Missile on to GG. Oh no, this could be bad. Dust as well. Long range Sprout. What was that rage? Oh, are you kidding me? GG. Still running. Trying to outrun the Rocket. That is one fast fighter. They catch him in the end, but they're not going to dive that. Even for the Zenith lineup, I said they're good chasers, but that's just a little bit too far to have 4 heroes diving here. Yeah, World Elite, great initiation for them. That's really their strong suit, will be those team fights, if they can find them. And here we go, push commences on the bottom lane, tower low, no glyph available. Nice job here, scouting out that incoming movement from the Earthshaker. Fissure on 2, Nova on 3, but it's Lau who's the first to drop. Torrent into missile. Look at that combo, that's pretty broken. Oh man, Infidus as well. Earthshaker, big Echo Slam, doing some damage, but not enough. Chan as well, running for his life with the Soul Catcher up. Oh, Gyrocopter wants these kills. Iceiceicee going for the Aghanims, has a little more damage now. Rocket Barrage, you see the short range there, just not able to stay locked on. Zenith get 2. They also get a tier 2. 2 and 2 for the boys on Zenith. And now they're going to happily back off. Go back and farm. World Elite plays some really aggressive wards this game. I feel ambitious is the correct term for these against Zenith's lineup. Because it doesn't seem like many of the fights are happening on this side of the map. It seems like all the fights are happening over here. Over here. Over here. Back on that side of the map. So, a big win for Zenith, and I expect we're going to see big bump in the gold graph as well. If you look at Zenith, they have a couple of heroes that really do need farm. Gyrocopter needs items. He needs a lot of them to be effective in the mid to late game. His only really strong ability as far as just raw damage and carrying goes is the flat cannon.
Come get healed.
Sure, he does a lot of nuke damage, but eventually if World Elite get those BKBs up, no, it's an Aghanims. Oh, I'm not sure about this choice. But BKB could be the next choice, and maybe FNTY will have time. Still, once the BKB comes up, if it does, oh, 4-second stun. HY is about to drop the X. That's fortunate, and Chan will get out of there along with the rest of his team. I think. Have I spoken too soon? I have not. Over towards the bottom lane. It's GG applying the pressure. The ultimate flying through. I mean, look at the split push. You can't push against iceiceicee. Not with the start he had. At least not with the Spiderlings. This is where Broodmother needs to rely on the hero to do the pushing. Use the Spiderlings in the jungle. 4 hero smoke for World Elite. They want kills. And they need them too. Iceiceicee, as long as he's alive, that push will not stop. Oh, here we go. Broodmother very strong in the 1v1 versus iceiceicee. Oh, they want to kill him. They're going to kill him. And Loda, not able to TP out in time. The Centaur stun. Will it be enough? Just enough to keep him alive. Chaos Knight blocked off by the Fissure. Not able to get in range for that Chaos Bolt. That could have been disastrous for Loda there, but he gets out alive. Still, with the Gyrocopter dead, that's the biggest form of anti-push. 1 point Phantasm. Glyph is forced. They want to try and force the TP back. It's going to be HY who blinks first. HY who blinks first. He's headed towards bottom. Buyback from Iceiceicee. And he will return to this push immediately. Oh, here we go. Slow onto GG. They want him. X, torrent. GG caught out. GG should be going down here. Oh, yes, he will. Fissure, the ultimate. Whoa, look at that damage from Fancy and XY dropping low. But can they actually finish the job? They got them all so low. Will it be enough? That is the power of the Aghanim's. Gives you an extra burst. It's not quite enough. Oh, he got a lot of damage on the Zenith. But in the end, he takes a fall himself as well. The buyback by the Gyrocopter, although he dies again, in exchange for a team wipe, a 2 for 5, or I suppose we should call it a 3 for 5. Zenith are going to be very happy about that. God, look at his last hitting. I mean, we all know a lot of these are Spiderlings. If you actually look at gold per minute, it's Queen of Pain who's leading the way. A lot of that being deaths as well. But, I mean, that's a lot of creeps. That's a big creep score, I have to say that much. So if you're World Elite right now, what do you do? Well, if you ask me, they really need to get the BKBs up. Broodmother working towards one. I mentioned the fact that I'd like to see Queen of Pain go for one next. That will be the next item of choice. Not going to be a Sange for her. Definitely this will be a BKB. And Chaos Knight as well. He's very underfarmed, and I guess that's another concern at this point. I mean, Chaos Knight doesn't... Oh, here we go. Purge on the Lao. Could have been a mistake. They pull back in the Kunkka. Will it be enough? Looks like it should be. 3 seconds. Oh no! iceiceicee joins the fight. The ult flies out from Quap. She can use it in multiple fights in a row, but the Purge onto FNCY. He will take a fall. Impetus, as well as the Prophet, joining that fight. Zenith just... I mean, with Zenith, you have to expect 5 to be there every fight. They have a Prophet, and they just always run as 5 in these fights, especially after the early game. I mean, if you're World Elite, I think you just need the BKBs. I don't think you can fight without them. There's too many nukes on Zenith. There's too much control for them. And that combination that we're seeing from the Kunkka as well as the Shadow Demon, without a BKB, you have no answer for it. Disruption, and the rocket, the missile on top of it, the homing missile. You have the Disruption, Torrent, homing missile combination. It does too much damage. It's impossible to avoid unless you have that BKB to tank, to block those spells from coming in. So to me, World Elite have to find a way to stall this game, at least until they get the BKBs. Then the Broodmother can be much more ambitious with the split pushes and still get away. And it looks like that BKB is flying in. Courier, come on, buddy. A little bit of a detour there, but it should find its way to the Broodmother in the end. There's your smiley face. I heard a disruption, not sure where that is. Oh, XY just doing some farming. I was like, man, am I going to see a kill? But no action miss, that's good. For anyone who's just tuning in, by the way, this is game number 2 of World Elite vs Zenith, since we have a bit of a lull in the action here. Game number 1, if you missed it, it was a lot of fun to cast. I think there were like 50 kills in 20 minutes, maybe even a bit more. It was a very one-sided affair. Zenith is leading this series 1-0. If they win this, they will be 2-0 in the series, and this is best out of 3.
Clear as clean water.
They'll also be 2-0 in terms of the group standings. Speaking of those standings, dotacommentaries.com. Click on World Tour. That's your place to find standings, schedule, VOD links for anything you miss. You can check those out. They'll be up on my YouTube after this game, or shortly after this game. So, you know, you can check out the VODs there. But yeah, I mean, Zenith leading the series, and I have to say they have a lead here. It's actually a pretty big lead in terms of golden experience. I still feel World Elite are not out of this. I think they have good heroes to turn this around. Broodmother with the split push. Zenith is somewhat reliant on that magical damage, especially with the Aghanims. Gyrocopter did not opt to go for that damage build. No Shadow Blade. No Crystallis for him. Instead, he's going for that caster style. And of course, he can spam that ultimate to push the waves, but for now, it looks like he's holding on to it for ganks. Middle lane, FNCY backed up by 3. That's a lot of support just for Queen of Pain. And it shows you just how good Zenith are at finding the kills. The range on their team with X, Torrent, as well as the missile. Normally Queen of Pain will be absolutely 100% fine farming by herself in that situation. But this game, she's not, because Zenith can pull her back in, even if she tries to run away. iceiceicee, what will his next item be? Will he go for... I mean, if you want to go all in with the magical damage, one option is to go for an Ethereal Blade. Now, I'm not sure it's a good choice this game. They should have seen the Broodmother has a BKB up by now. They likely have seen that the Queen of Pain is building towards one. So I expect what we'll see is a transition maybe into a BKB of his own, maybe into some damage items for iceiceicee. He doesn't have to do all the physical damage, though. They've got the Kunkka, they've got Enchantress, who actually does quite a bit of physical damage in her own right. In fact, it's pure damage. Oh, top lane, though. Loda, 2 seconds stun. He's got a medallion up. He's going to TP out. Blink in, Fissure, just in time. That means the Chaos Bolt will be cooling down. Echo Slam, they really want this one. And there you go, Enchant Totem. Loda gets picked off. He gets brought down. A much needed kill here. This is a very poor Chaos Knight, though. Triple Bracer and Treads, just trying to get some HP. Very cost-effective items for him. I mean, I personally prefer to see a drum instead of 3 bracers. But he can turn one of these into one if he wants. With the BKBs, it will help, but it's not a total solution. As we can see, HY. Maybe this will be... What will this be? Probably a BKB of his own. There's not really a point to getting minus armor on Kunkka, because again, that cleave just ignores armor. So it does whatever the stated damage is here. To anyone except for the primary target. So I expect that will be a BKB. Over towards middle lane. It's going to be a trade for World Elite. Will Zenith give it up? TP back bottom. Tower drops top. So they get a tier 1 in exchange for a tier 2. It's not a great trade. But World Elite just trying to buy some time. They need the BKB on the Quap, which I think she just about has. In fact, she's got it now. Maybe save it for buyback. World Elite fishing for the kills, looking for the openings. Ice. Could be a Shadow Blade, could be a Force Staff. It seems like this is more of a utility Gyrocopter, and I think it's fine because they have, again, they have the Kunkka, the Prophet, the Enchantress to back them up. And I have to say, although Gyrocopter has his weaknesses, he is pretty versatile. He can play the hard carry, he can be a split pusher, can provide that anti-push, can give you just some burst damage for ganks, some early hero killing power. I mean, even roaming Gyrocopter, if you've got the right heroes to set him up, can be effective. If you ever want to try that in a pub game, I highly recommend it. It is a lot of fun. But I think this is a good game as far as Gyrocopter goes if you don't want to play that hard carry. I think it still works. So Zenith, they have a couple of heroes they're getting farm. HY. One of the heroes that's getting a lot. Torrent into X. Enchantress as well. Zenith everywhere at once, and they're going to find another opening, get that pick off. But what will they turn it into? All the outer towers knocked down. It's forcing a big investment from the supports, and it's also forcing very defensive wards. We have wards bottom, we have wards mid, we have wards over towards that top lane as well. Now for anyone who doesn't know, just a random mechanics point here, the missile will actually not hit you if you're invisible. So you see there, ding, but doesn't actually do any damage, no stun. So Broodmother can deal with the Gyrocopter in some ways, but with dust of course, which we will see, it's not really going to help you. Boy, after that game 1, this is this is about as... I mean, 34 kills in 27 minutes. We've definitely seen some action, but nothing like game number 1. Definitely a change in pace. You know, it shows you, I think, that World Elite are more in their comfort zone this game. They had better heroes to deal with. Broodmother actually getting big. Eagle Song picked up on her. 173 CS despite being 133. And if she gets locked on, if you look at Zenith right now, how much mobility do they really have? Prophet can try and TP out. That's not a reliable escape, though. Kunkka has the Shadow Blade and a BKB. He should be able to run. You got Disruption, Purge. The one big thing here will be that Demonic Purge. Goes through BKB, will remove Insatiable Hunger, even if you use the BKB. And also slow you down a lot. And Broodmother, as a melee hero, can struggle with kiting. But Zenith, not too many true ranged carries. They don't have anything, you know, like a Morphling with insane mobility. They don't have a Viper who's got that 600 range to work with, or a Drow range or something like that. So I feel, you know, Zenith, they're not the best lineup to kite, but they have a decent chance to pull it off. Here we go. It's big smoke gank from Zenith. They want FNTY. He has to know something. Oh, and he's got a gem. Oh, this will be a disaster if he dies. Not just losing his gold, maybe being forced to buy back. Oh, FNTY, watch your mini-map, my friend. In a lot of trouble. The gank is closing in. The net working its way over. Torrent to start. It's going to hit, and now FNTY. BKB is forced. Blink away. They actually can't stop it. BKB, and he'll get out for a huge smoke gank. Wow. That's why you get that early BKB, guys. FNTY picks it up. And he gets out. And remember, it's not just the hero that lives. It's the gem as well. That's a 1400 gold Swain if you die. It's 700 gold out of your pockets into the enemy teams. And especially when you have no towers. I mean, they need wards to have any semblance of map control, to have any sense of vision and knowledge of what's going on around the map. So if they lose that gem, that means all of these get dewarded, and you're playing in the black from there. So that all it was in the end. All it is a hero TP'd out. Maybe not the most exciting thing, but that has huge repercussions for this game. And now World Elite looking for Roshan. Another smoke from Zenith. Oh, we're about to see our first big 5-on-5 team fight of the game. Roshan dropping. Will it be in time? We're about to find out. Where's the turret? Where's the boat? I'm on a boat! In it goes! Chan dropping low. hyhy held in place. Iceiceicee dropping low to the imps. Freedom doing a lot of damage. Broodmother is struggling a bit to stay locked on here. There's your purge. Blink in from Fancy. Going for the ultimate. No! He's the one that gets first down. Does he have the buyback? In the midst of all this, who picked up the Aegis? It was Brown. That's your Chaos Knight. Chan in a lot of trouble, looking to be picked off. And it seems Zens just have too many items, too much farm, and a good initiation at the pit. Ice, he drops low. In fact, hyhy, he's not done yet. He wants to make it a team wipe. He uses the drum. In fact, he already used it. Prophet TP's in. Nope, cancels that one. Should be resetting. TP's up here. Torrent to follow. Torrent not going to hit. One cleave should do the trick if he ever gets it off. One more right click. There you go. And a team wipe for Zenith. Whoa. They have some good team fight, don't get me wrong. But with World Elite having 2 BKBs and a lot of this being nuke damage, I'm a little surprised to see them all die. But it's against the Zenith lineup, it is very dangerous to be in the pit. The Gyrocopter call down, Prophet ultimate bouncing through, the ship and the turret in particular as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a lot of AoE, and it's hard. It can be hard to set that combo up, but everyone being grouped up in the Roshan pit. Well, there's your initiation. There's your setup. World Elite actually giving that to Zenith. Oh boy, Zenith looks very strong right now. They're picking unconventionally. Oh, I mean, at least they picked a Gyrocopter. I guess that's not conventional. Here we go though. Blink in. FNCY wants to defend the racks. There's your BKB. X Freedom on the back foot, trying to run for his life. Will he get away? Looks like the Purge going on to GG, and GG just can't do anything in these fights. In fact, nobody can. The BKB's all used. Zenith survived. By the way, Prophet picked up that gem, and look at the mat now. I said they'd be playing in the dark, but a mere 2 minutes later, it's already happening. No vision for World Elite. Let's actually look at their Fog of War just to hammer the point up. No vision, and all the lanes push in. This is all they control. If you've ever heard the concept of map control, this is why. Without vision, without towers, you don't actually control this area. You can't be here safely. The enemy can go for those smoke ganks. They can go for the Prophet TP ganks. Speaking of that Prophet, went for Aghanim's, but if he wants that Scythe device, he's not far off. The sphere of influence for World Elite has shrunk. And well, the gold graph reflects it. The experience graph does too. It's a big lead here. So what can World Elite do at this point? Well, they can turtle. Here's the thing. In the International 2 East qualifiers, if you didn't watch World Elite, I know a lot of people were just watching the West qualifiers, but we had a lot of great games with World Elite. They won some games they were very far behind in, but what always happened for them was that they held on to at least a few outer towers. They also secured Roshan, and then they used the Aegis effectively to their advantage. That first Aegis, even though they acquired it, they still got team wiped and lost the Aegis. That does not qualify as effective use. So, for World Elite here, it's a question of finding, hanging on, trying to turtle it up, maybe go for some smoke ganks, but just play defensively. And here's my other concern. I mean, I just feel this Chaos Knight can't do a thing. And he needs to be able to, because Broodmother is eating the Demonic Purge. Oh no! Blake in, the BKB forced. He had to BKB. Would have been pulled back in by the X. Magic Immunity will block that from pulling you back. But with that BKB down, as well as the Glyph being down for another 2.5 minutes, Zenith are ready to go for this push mid. And I just don't know. What can World Elite do to stop it? Kunkka with a DD root, and the Daedalus blink in! Echo! Burst damage galore for World Elite, immediately wiping the Kunkka out. And they want Ice Ice. Looks like they should be able to get him. Look at the initiations. That was the game-breaking item there. At least gives World Elite a shot. Was that Blink Dagger, and now Freedom still in the middle of the fight, doing what he can. Oh, the buyback from Enchantress. Is Freedom really going to kill everybody? The blink away. Now he works towards the Rex. Buyback into the game from Chaos Knight. I believe Loda didn't die there. I think he just survived, and now he's working on the Rex. Rex dropping low. Rex will go down. Freedom did a big damage. Secured his team of Rex. Now he'll take the fall as well. The chase goes on to Loda. Immediate TP out. Chaos Bow cooling down. Not going to be in time. And away he goes. Gem. No! Oh no, the Trans deny it. Oh, World Elite. They lose their Rex. They lose their gem. I think World Elite actually bought a new one there, by the way. Because we see Loda still has his. So, yeah, he didn't die. 5,000 gold on Loda now. Well, World Elite, if they had any chance of leaving their base, I think that just went out the window. Especially with the Scythe of Vice and Prophet. Because now you have to worry about that global gank. It's not just the Prophet, and I have not mentioned this either this game, but it's a bit of a global strat here from, not really global strat, but a global presence here from Zenith. The Prophet ultimate, the TP, the Scythe of Vice, and then on top of it, it's the Gyrocopter with that cooldown. This does have global cast range. You can just throw it down anywhere. And it not only pushes well. Oh, here we actually see him using it. Where did he send it? Oh, he set it top. They should, the mini-map should really be pinged. Valve, if you're watching, I'd love to see like a mini-map ping whenever Gyrocopter uses all. I think that'd be cool. But, I mean, you can see, he can just keep constant pressure on these lanes. And I mean, generally you can't leave your base anyway if you lose early racks to a Prophet, but especially this game, it's going to be impossible to do so. That Earthshaker Blink Dagger, I feel that was the big X factor here for World Elite, sort of the trump card. And if they weren't just so... Whoa! Whoa! Okay. So we have an Ethereal Blade on Broodmother. Alright, now this is something you don't see very often. I can say that, because pretty much all of her damage is auto attack damage. Spawn Spider Lanes, 300 damage nuke. This is unorthodox. What is there that she's trying to counter on this enemy team? Maybe it's just the impetus, but if that's the case, I think you could just go for a Ghost Scepter. Call down. Constant pressure. Where is he actually sending it? Look, that's top lane. You know, save that Prophet ult for the team fights, because, by the way, it's not only a global ult that completely shuts down a push, it's also got a 45-second cooldown. So we have ourselves an Ethereal Blade Broodmother. Well, I'll let you guys try and figure out in the chat why this was picked up. As I'm really a little bit confused here, to be honest. Broodmother BKB is forced. Looking for the initiation here. They catch on hyhy. This will be a big pick. Stun to follow. They get him. The burst damage is too much. Will they be able to follow up, though? It's Freedom who did all the damage last fight. Can he do it again? Icy is caught out. He will go down. They pull back in Freedom. And Freedom, 2-second stun. Looks like he'll take a fall as well. Great fight here for World Elite. They are not out of this one yet, folks. In fact, he gets away. He TP's out. Oh, man, that is the weakness of Homing Missile. It takes forever and a day. It's why you need the setup of the Disruption, the Torrent, in order to give it time to arrive. You know, the other thing he could be doing here is just sit on the Ethereal Blade for now, and then you can turn this into a Butterfly later and still have the Ghost Scepter, because you can split this item up. So maybe that's what we're going to see out of GG. That would make sense. I think Ghost Scepter is a good choice this game. You're up against Kunkka. He hits really hard with his right clicks. Iceiceicee not so much. And the Impetus as well. Those are the two main sources of damage that he has to deal with. So I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't mind that at all, actually. That makes a bit more sense. And it also gives you an easier build-up, because you can have the Ethereal Blade now and the benefits of the Ghost Scepter, instead of having to wait another 800 gold to get that 900 gold. Actually, it's more like a 1200 gold to get the Talisman of Evasion as well as the Quarterstaff. Still, this is something I think we've seen everything now, because I don't think this has ever been done before in a pro game, or maybe, I'm sure it's been done in some pub, but I've never seen it. Okay, enough about that. Wacky things galore. Well, okay, Chana's started to pick the farm up here a little bit. 70 creeps for him. I guess it's mostly Sysgold, though. He's got himself a BKB. And because of the way Zenith have built their team, Prophet with an Aghanims, a Gyrocopter with this call down, they can push hard. They have good burst damage in team fights, good AoE. They don't really have a lot of right click. They don't have a lot of ways to deal with those BKBs. The Purge is just about it. I did mention this briefly much earlier on. If this game goes late enough, World Elite might have a good shot. The one concern will be this Kunkka. They caught him out and burst him down last fight. He was not able to use the boat, the cleave, anything like that. It was all thanks to the Scythe of Ice on Spanty, who is getting quite large. What's he actually up to? Total gold earned. Keeping pace with a Prophet. Oh, man. That is impressive stuff, guys. 11, 4, and 5. This is a Prophet who went for Midas, went for Aghanims. Gem killed bottom lane. Was that dropped in the last fight? I guess it was. Torrent. Oh, they want GG. Will they get him? It looks like they will. Medallion to follow as well. They'll get the kill. And now Zenith go for a push. Is there buyback on the Broodmother? No. Just bought a Yasha. Oh, this is a disaster for Zenith. I don't know if they can defend without this Brood. She was integral last fight. Huge dive. in by the illusions here. They pull it HY. BKB used very late though. A lot of damage already been done, and now he's got to run. FNTY trying to tank here. The ultimate doing nothing, only hitting HY. Boat flies through as well. They're trying to get kills. It's World Elite who are fully on the back foot. Oh, that Broodmother getting caught without buyback. That may have just cost World Elite the game. And with that, the series, Zenith did take game number 1.
Under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Zenith looked strong, but that was a very costly blunder by the Broodmother. You have to save whatever you're down a set of racks. The enemy has that potential to get another set. You have no outer towers. You don't have an Aegis. You have to save for buyback. It's a cardinal rule in these competitive games. And it's just, Zenith punishing that. They didn't know he didn't have the buyback, of course, but, you see a new item picked up on Brood, maybe look to get aggressive. As that global gank power, Zenith, I love this Gyrocopter pick. We've seen, Sand King, Darkseer, Tidehunter, those are normally your 3 main counters to deal with that Broodmother, but Gyrocopter showing off that he can actually be a powerful one as well. He did need the Sentry Ward to start things off, just to try and give him a fighting chance. Ethereal Blade Broodmother, perhaps not ready for prime time, however. I don't think we'll be seeing too much more of this build. In the end, it's Zenith to take the series 2-0, and boy do they look strong. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about this team. They win with everybody, and they do so convincingly. Their second win over World Elite in 2 days. In fact, in as many days, I should say. Zenith take the series 2-0. They are 2-0 in the group as well in the standing. They have one more best out of 3 to play, but it's looking like they will be advancing. In fact, I think they're guaranteed to advance at this point. Great performance by Zenith, wrapping the series up in a convincing fashion. World Elite, unfortunately, dropping this one. This was their first match, so World Elite still have 2 matches to try and get back into things. They could definitely still look to advance as well. That's going to do it for this series, guys. We should have Absolute Legends versus M5 coming up for you in about an hour and a half. That will be, again, on the stream beyond the summit. I will leave the stream up during that time, just for your viewing pleasure. Maybe run some Dota trivia episodes, but that will do it for today's Zenith versus World Elite matchup. So Absolute Legends versus M5 coming up at 18 CEST, as well as, let's do the conversions real quick for y'all. That's 12 Eastern Standard Time if you're over on the East Coast of the US, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, and then if you're over in Southeast Asia, that would be midnight. Yeah, midnight Singapore General Time. So, there you go, guys. That's Zenith versus World Elite. We'll be coming back in about an hour and a half time with Absolute Legends versus M5. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm LD of dotacommentaries.com. You're watching Beyond the Summits World Tour.